My name is Rachel Morgan. I'm 27 years old. I'm a nurse. And tonight is the night a CIA officer made the biggest mistake of his career. When a terrorist attack erupted at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, at 10:23 p.m., Senior CIA officer James Harrington dismissed me with a contemptuous glance. Stay out of the way, medical staff. This is a matter of national security. But when 4 highly trained foreign operatives stormed the hospital to assassinate a 4-star American general recovering from surgery, executed 2 security agents, and advanced toward the intensive care unit, everything changed. Because I'm not just medical staff. I'm former CIA Special Activities Center, Ground Branch, the elite paramilitary division of the CIA. Call sign, Wraith. Discharged 2 years ago for unauthorized operation and protocol violation, after I single-handedly infiltrated a terrorist facility in Syria to rescue 3 captured CIA agents, killing 17 enemy combatants in the process. And now, seconds after being dismissed, I sealed the emergency room, took command, neutralized all 4 operatives in 11 minutes, protected the general, and proved why the CIA considered me too dangerous to follow the chain of command. My name is Rachel Morgan. Emergency room nurse. 10 months at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. And I'm invisible. Nobody knows who I really am. Nobody asks questions. I'm just another nurse. Competent. Quiet. Professional. I keep my head down, treat patients, and blend into the background. Exactly as planned. Because I'm not here to be a hero. I'm here to forget. Forget Langley. Forget the Special Activities Center. Forget Ground Branch. Forget the missions. Forget the faces of the agents I lost. Forget the one operation that ended my career. I'm Rachel Morgan now. Not Wraith. Not the CIA paramilitary officer who spent 6 years conducting covert direct action missions across the Middle East and Eastern Europe. Not the woman who was too aggressive, too willing to disobey orders, too determined to complete the mission regardless of cost. Just a nurse. Invisible. Trying to be normal. But normal doesn't last. Not for people like me. It was 10:23 p.m. on a Tuesday night in December. The ER was moderately busy. Military personnel. Veterans. Dependents. Standard military hospital night. I was administering medication to a post-op patient when I heard the commotion at the security checkpoint. Raised voices. Alarms. Then I heard it. 2 suppressed gunshots. Then silence. I dropped the medication tray and moved toward the sound. The security checkpoint was a nightmare. 2 security agents, both former military, both good men, were on the floor. Shot in the head. Execution style. Dead. And moving past them, 4 operatives. All male. All wearing civilian clothes. All armed with suppressed handguns. Tactical movements. Military precision. Professional. Foreign operatives. Assassination team. I was behind a corner. Assessing. 4 operatives. All armed. Suppressed weapons. Coordinated movements. Highly trained. Professional hit squad. Then I heard a voice behind me. You. Nurse. Step away from there. Now. I turned. A man in his 50s. White. Gray hair. Sharp suit. CIA credentials. Senior Officer James Harrington. There are 4 armed operatives inside. They just killed 2 security agents. They're here too. I know exactly why they're here. And I need you to stay out of the way. This is a CIA operation now. This is a matter of national security. There are patients in there. Staff. Innocent people. And we'll handle it. Your medical staff. This is not your concern. He turned away. I clenched my jaw. Not my concern. I'd been handling national security when he was still analyzing intelligence reports from a desk. But I didn't say anything. I watched as Officer Harrington spoke into his radio, calling for backup, coordinating a response. Standard protocol. By the book. Slow. The 4 operatives were moving deeper into the hospital. Methodical. Professional. Heading toward the ICU. Toward their target. General Robert Caldwell. 4-star general. Retired. Former commander of U.S. Central Command. Recovering from heart surgery. Scheduled to testify before Congress next week about classified military operations. Someone wanted him dead, and they'd sent professionals to do it. I had maybe 3 minutes before they reached the ICU. Officer Harrington had backup coming in 15 minutes. Too slow. Too late. The general would be dead. And so would anyone who got in their way. I felt the switch flip inside me. The same one that got me discharged. The same one that made me wraith. I moved. I went to the nurses' station. Accessed the emergency lockdown system. Sealed the ER. All doors. All entrances. Electronic locks. Nobody in. Nobody out. The 4 operatives were trapped inside. With me. Alarms blared. Red lights flashed. Officer Harrington spun toward me. What the hell did you just do? I sealed the ER. The operatives are contained. You had no authority to do that. You're a nurse. I'm also the only person in this building who can stop them. Who the hell are you? Someone who doesn't wait for backup. I went to my locker in the staff room. Opened it. Inside, hidden under my gym clothes, SIG Sauer P226. Suppressor. 4 spare magazines. Tactical knife. Flex cuffs. Emergency kit. I'd kept it all. Just in case. I loaded the SIG. Attached the suppressor. Clipped the knife to my belt. Stuffed the flex cuffs in my pocket. Then I moved through the ER corridors. Silent. Invisible. Lethal. Officer Harrington was shouting into his radio. We have a rogue nurse who just sealed the ER. I need backup now. I ignored him. I had a mission. Stop the operatives. Protect the general. Save lives. I accessed the ICU through a maintenance corridor. The 4 operatives were advancing. Methodical. Professional. Checking rooms. Eliminating witnesses. I counted 3 bodies. Staff members. Executed. Cold. Efficient. These weren't amateurs. These were professionals. Foreign intelligence. Probably Russian SVR or Chinese MISs. I started tracking them. I moved through the ICU like a ghost. Silent. Invisible. The 4 operatives were spread out. 2 advancing toward the general's room. 2 covering their 6. Standard tactical formation. Professional. I started with the rear guard. The first operative was alone. Checking a supply room. Back to me. Vulnerable. I approached from behind. Silent. Applied a rear naked choke. He tried to struggle. Couldn't. 6 seconds. He went limp. I lowered him to the floor. Flex cuffed his hands and feet. Took his suppressed Glock 19. 1 down. 3 remaining. The second rear guard was 10 meters ahead. Alert. Scanning. Professional. I couldn't approach without being detected. I needed a distraction. I triggered a medical alarm in an adjacent room. The operative moved toward it. Cautious. Weapon raised. I flanked him. Came up behind him. Struck him in the base of the skull with the butt of my SI. He dropped. 2 down. 2 remaining. The 2 lead operatives realized something was wrong. Stopped advancing. Started searching. Professional. Disciplined. They moved as a unit. Covering each other. I couldn't take them both without alerting the other. I needed to separate them. I threw a medical tray down the hallway. It clattered. Loud. One operative went to investigate. The other held position, covering. I took the one investigating. Approached from the side. Silent. Double tap. Suppressed. He fell. 3 down. 1 remaining. The last operative, the team leader, realized his entire team was down. He moved. Fast. Toward the general's room. I pursued. He reached the general's room. Kicked the door open. Raised his weapon. I was faster. I fired. 1 shot. Hit him in the shoulder. He spun. Returned fire. Bullets tore through the hallway. I took cover. Returned fire. We exchanged shots for 30 seconds. Professional. Disciplined. Then his weapon clicked empty. He dropped it. Drew a knife. Charged. Hand-to-hand combat. He was good. Trained. Spetsnaz. Probably. Russian Special Forces. We fought. Fast. Brutal. He slashed at me. I blocked. Countered. Struck him in the throat. He gasped. I swept his legs. He fell. I disarmed him. Flex cuffed him. 4 down. 0 remaining. I keyed my radio. This is Rachel Morgan. Threats neutralized. General Caldwell is secure. 4 operatives in custody. 3 dead. 1 alive. Silence. Then a voice. Nurse Morgan, this is CIA command. Confirm. You neutralized the operatives. Confirmed. Who are you? I didn't answer. I checked on General Caldwell. He was awake. Alert. Staring at me. Who are you, nurse? Someone who doesn't let good men die on my watch, sir. You just saved my life. Just doing my job, sir. Officer James Harrington burst into the room. Weapon drawn. Saw the 4 operatives. 3 dead. 1 in custody. Saw me. Saiji in hand. Blood on my scrubs. You're Wraith, he whispered. Former CIA Special Activities Center. Ground Branch. You were discharged 2 years ago. That's right. For unauthorized operations. For doing what needed to be done. You infiltrated a terrorist facility in Syria. Alone. Against direct orders. Killed 17 enemy combatants. Rescued 3 CIA agents. They were going to be executed. I didn't have time to wait for authorization. You went rogue. I went to war. And I won. He stared at me. You just stopped an assassination attempt on a 4-star general. Neutralized 4 foreign operatives. Alone. In 11 minutes. 12 minutes. But who's counting? He didn't respond. CIA tactical teams flooded the ICU. Secured the scene. Took the operatives into custody. Evacuated the general to a secure location. Then another voice. Wraith. I turned. A man in his 60s. White. Silver hair. Sharp suit. CIA credentials. Deputy Director Michael Brennan. My former boss. Sir, I said. It's been a long time. 2 years. You've been keeping tabs on me? Always. You're too valuable to lose track of. I'm not CIA anymore. No. But you're still the best ground branch operator I've ever seen. And tonight proved it. I did what needed to be done. You did what an entire CIA tactical team couldn't. You saved a 4-star general. Stopped a foreign assassination attempt. And you did it alone. In 12 minutes. He glanced at Officer Harrington. Harrington looked away. That's why we need you back, Deputy Director Brennan said. Need me for what? To come back. CIA Special Activities Center. Ground Branch. Full reinstatement. Your record expunged. And a promotion to Senior Operations Officer. I stared at him. You discharged me for unauthorized operations. I discharged you because you were a liability. You didn't follow orders. You took matters into your own hands. But you also completed more successful missions than any operator in Ground Branch history. And tonight reminded me why. I'm not interested. Why not? Because I don't want to be a weapon anymore. I want to help people. Heal them. Not kill them. You can do both. Tonight proved that. I thought about it. I'll think about it. Don't think too long. We have a situation. Foreign intelligence operation. Russian SVR. They're planning something big. And we need the best. We need you. When? 72 hours. He handed me a card. Call me when you're ready. He left. I stood there, holding the card. Officer Harrington approached. For what it's worth, I was wrong about you. You're not just medical staff. You're a legend. I'm just someone who does what needs to be done. No. You're more than that. You're Wraith. And the country needs Wraith. He walked away. I went back to the ER. Treated patients. Saved lives. But I couldn't stop thinking about Deputy Director Brennan's offer. Could I go back? Could I be Wraith again? Or was I Rachel Morgan now? I didn't know. That night, I went home. Opened my laptop. Searched for classified intelligence reports. I still had access. Old passwords. Backdoors. The Russian SVR was planning a major operation. Target. Classified. Timeline. 72 hours. Threat level. Critical. People were going to die. Unless someone stopped it. Unless Wraith stopped it. I picked up my phone. Dialed Deputy Director Brennan. I'm in, I said. Good. Be at Langley at 0600. We'll brief you. Understood. And Rachel. Yes, sir. Welcome back. I hung up. Looked at myself in the mirror. Rachel Morgan. Wraith. Both. Always. I packed my gear. Loaded my weapons. And prepared for the mission. Because that's who I am. A healer who fights. A warrior who saves. And the world needs both. I arrived at CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, at 0600. Deputy Director Brennan met me in a secure briefing room. SCIF. Sensitive Compartmented Information Facility. Here's the situation, he said, pulling up satellite photos on a screen. Russian SVR. Major intelligence operation. Target. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Hartman. Chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee. They're planning to assassinate her. Tomorrow night. During a fundraising event in Washington, D.C. What's the plan? We protect the senator. Identify the SVR operatives. Stop the assassination. What's the problem? We don't know who the operatives are. They're deep cover. Sleeper agents. Could be anyone. Staff. Security. Guests. We don't know. So you need someone to go in undercover. Identify the operatives. Stop them before they strike. Exactly. You'll be embedded as private security. Close protection for the senator. Your call sign will be Wraith. I nodded. When do I start? Now. I spent the next 48 hours preparing. Studying the senator. Her schedule. Her security detail. Her staff. The fundraising event was being held at the Willard Intercontinental Hotel in downtown Washington, D.C. 200 guests. High-profile donors. Politicians. Diplomats. Perfect target for an assassination. The SVR operatives would blend in. Invisible. Until they struck. I arrived at the Willard Hotel at 1800 the night of the event. Dressed in a black suit. Earpiece. Concealed Saiji Sour. I looked like private security. Professional. Invisible. Senator Hartman arrived at 1830. 55 years old. White. Sharp. intelligent, powerful. She was surrounded by her security detail. 6 agents. All former Secret Service. All professional. But none of them knew what I knew. The SVR was coming. I stayed close to the senator, scanning the crowd, assessing, looking for threats. 200 guests. Any one of them could be SVR. At 1945, I saw him. A man in his 40s. White. Expensive suit. Blending in. But his eyes were wrong. Cold. Calculating. Scanning. Professional. I moved closer. Watched him. He was moving toward the senator. Casual. Invisible. His right hand was in his jacket pocket. Weapon. I intercepted him. Stepped in front of him. "Excuse me, sir. Can I see your invitation?" He smiled. "Of course." He reached into his jacket. I grabbed his wrist. Twisted. He tried to pull away. I was faster. I disarmed him. Glock 19. Suppressor. I pressed my SI against his ribs. "Don't move. Don't speak. Or I put 2 rounds in your liver." He froze. I keyed my comms. "This is Wraith. I have 1 SVR operative in custody. Main ballroom. Northeast corner. Copy that, Wraith. CIA team moving in." The CIA team secured the operative. Took him into custody. But I wasn't done. SVR operations always had backup. Redundancy. There was another operative. I scanned the crowd. Then I saw her. A woman in her 30s. White. Elegant dress. Blending in. But her posture was wrong. Military. Disciplined. Professional. She was moving toward the senator. I moved. Fast. Intercepted her. "Ma'am, I need you to come with me." She smiled. "I'm sorry, who are you?" "Private security. I need you to come with me." "Now." "I don't think so." She moved. Fast. Struck at me. I blocked. Countered. We fought. Fast. Brutal. Professional. She was good. Spetsnaz. Russian Special Forces. We exchanged blows for 20 seconds. Then I got the upper hand. Swept her legs. She fell. I flex-cuffed her. 2 down. 0 remaining. I keyed my comms. "This is Wraith. 2nd SVR operative in custody. Assassination attempt stopped." "Copy that, Wraith. Outstanding work." The CIA team secured the 2nd operative. Evacuated Senator Hartman to a secure location. The event was over. Deputy Director Brennan met me outside. "You did it, Rachel. You stopped the assassination. Identified 2 SVR operatives. Saved a US senator. Just doing my job, sir." "No. You did what an entire CIA security team couldn't. You're the best, Rachel. And that's why we need you back." "I'm back. But on my terms." "Name them." "I follow my instincts. I make the calls in the field. And I don't wait for authorization when lives are at stake." He smiled. "That's what got you discharged. And that's what makes me effective." Agreed. Welcome back to Ground Branch, Wraith. I spent the next 18 months back with the CIA. Leading operations. Stopping threats. Protecting assets. But I also kept my nursing license. Worked shifts at Walter Reed when I could. Because I was both. Wraith and Rachel Morgan. A warrior and a healer. And the world needed both. 18 months later, I was back at Walter Reed. Working a shift when Deputy Director Brennan called. "We have a situation," he said. "What kind?" "Terrorist attack. ISIS sleeper cell. They're planning a major attack in Washington, D.C. Multiple targets. High casualties. And we need to stop them." My blood ran cold. "When?" 72 hours. Maybe less. What do you need from me? Everything. We need you to lead the operation. Identify the cell. Stop the attack. I'm on my way. I arrived at Langley 30 minutes later. The briefing was grim. ISIS sleeper cell. 6 operatives. All American citizens. Radicalized online. Planning coordinated attacks. Targets. Metro stations. Shopping malls. Schools. Potential casualties. Hundreds. Maybe thousands. Timeline. 72 hours. We had to stop them. I assembled a team. 6 CIA ground branch operators. The best. We spent the next 48 hours hunting the cell. Surveillance. Intelligence gathering. Tracking. We identified 5 of the 6 operatives. Located their safe house. Arlington, Virginia. Residential neighborhood. Fortified. Armed. Dangerous. We planned the raid. Fast. Surgical. Minimize collateral damage. We hit the safe house at 0400. Breached the door. Flashbangs. Smoke. Chaos. The 5 operatives were inside. Armed. Ready. They opened fire. We returned fire. The firefight lasted 90 seconds. When it was over, 4 operatives were dead. 1 was in custody. But the 6th operative was missing. The leader. The most dangerous. And he had the explosives. We interrogated the captured operative. He broke. Gave us the target. Union Station. Rush hour. Tomorrow morning. Thousands of casualties. We had 12 hours. I assembled my team. We deployed to Union Station. Undercover. Blending in. Scanning. Searching. At 0745, I saw him. The 6th operative. White male. Mid-30s. Backpack. Moving through the station. Calm. Focused. Determined. Suicide bomber. I keyed my comms. This is Wraith. I have eyes on the target. Main concourse. Moving toward the Red Line platform. Copy that, Wraith. Do not engage. Wait for backup. I didn't wait. I moved. Fast. Intercepted him. Excuse me, sir. Metro Police. I need to check your bag. He looked at me. Smiled. Allahu Akbar. He reached for the detonator. I was faster. I tackled him. We hit the ground. Hard. He tried to trigger the detonator. I grabbed his hand. Twisted. He screamed. I disarmed him. Secured the detonator. My team moved in. Secured the operative. Disarmed the explosives. Evacuated the station. 0 casualties. Mission complete. Deputy Director Brennan met me outside. You just stopped a terrorist attack. Saved thousands of lives. That's incredible, Rachel. Just doing my job, sir. No. You did what no one else could. You're a hero. I'm just someone who doesn't quit. You're Wraith. And the country needs Wraith. I smiled. Maybe. I spent the next year with the CIA. Leading operations. Training operators. Stopping threats. But I also worked as a nurse. Saving lives. Healing people. Because I was both. Wraith and Rachel Morgan. A warrior and a healer. And the world needed both. One day, Deputy Director Brennan called me into his office. We have a situation, he said. What kind? International. American hostages in Yemen. Al-Qaeda. And we need someone to go in and get them out. When? 72 hours. You'll be leading a ground branch team. Your call sign will be Wraith. I smiled. Just like old times. I deployed to Yemen. Led the ground branch team. And we went to work. The mission was brutal. Dangerous. We infiltrated the Al-Qaeda compound, located the hostages, and extracted them. But we lost one operator, a good man, a hero. I carried his body out of Yemen, attended his funeral, honored his sacrifice, and I made a promise. I would never stop fighting, never stop protecting, never stop being Wraith, because that's who I am. A guardian, a warrior, a protector of the innocent. And I'll do whatever it takes to keep people safe. 3 years later, I was back at Walter Reed, still working with the CIA, still practicing nursing, still hunting threats. But something had changed. I wasn't running from my past anymore. I'd embraced it. I was Wraith. And I was Rachel Morgan. Both. Always. One night, I was working a shift in the ER when a young soldier came in. IED blast. Critical injuries. I stabilized him. Performed emergency interventions. Saved his life. Afterward, he grabbed my hand. "Thank you," he whispered. "You're welcome. I know who you are. You're Wraith. The CIA operator who saved all those people." "I'm just a nurse." "No. You're a hero. And you inspired me. I joined the army because of stories like yours. People who fight for what's right." I smiled. "Then make it count. Be better. Be stronger. And never forget why you're fighting." He nodded. "I won't." He recovered. Returned to duty. Became a Green Beret. And years later, he sent me a message. "I made it. Because of you. Thank you, Wraith." I realized something then. My legacy wasn't the terrorists I'd stopped. It wasn't the missions I'd completed. It was the lives I'd saved. The people I'd inspired. The difference I'd made. That's what mattered. One day, Deputy Director Brennan called me. "We did it," he said. "Did what?" "We dismantled the ISIS network in the United States. Every cell. Every operative. It's over. It's never over." "No. But we won this fight. And you were a big part of that." "We all were." "True. But you were the tip of the spear. Wraith. The legend." I smiled. "I'm just a nurse, sir. You're a lot more than that. And the country is safer because of you." I hung up and looked around my apartment. Photos on the wall. Teammates. Patients. People I'd saved. People I'd lost. This was my life. Warrior. Healer. Protector. And I wouldn't change a thing. That night, I went to Walter Reed. Walked through the ER. Checked on patients. Talked to staff. And I felt at peace. Because I'd found my purpose. I'm Rachel Morgan. Call sign, Wraith. CIA Special Activities Center. Ground Branch. Emergency Room Nurse. And I'm exactly where I need to be. Protecting the innocent. Stopping evil. Saving lives. The hunt never ends. But I'm ready. Because I'm Wraith. And Wraith never quits. Never stops. Never fails. I walked out of the hospital into the Maryland night. The lights of Washington, D.C. glowed on the horizon. Somewhere out there, evil was planning, plotting, threatening. But I'd be ready. Because that's what I do. I protect. I fight. I save. And I'll never stop. Because I'm not just a nurse. I'm not just a CIA operator. I'm both. A warrior who heals. A healer who fights. And the world needs both. My phone buzzed. Emergency alert. Security threat. Walter Reed. Suspicious activity. I didn't hesitate. I grabbed my gear and ran. Because that's who I am. Rachel Morgan. Wraith. Guardian. Protector. And when evil strikes, I strike back. Harder. Faster. Stronger. The hunt never ends. But neither do I. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I arrived at the scene. Main entrance. Suspicious vehicle. Possible car bomb. The security team briefed me. Unknown vehicle. Parked for 30 minutes. Driver fled. Bomb squad is 10 minutes out. I'll check it. That's not protocol. We wait for the bomb squad. We don't have 10 minutes. If that's a bomb, it could detonate any second. Evacuate the area. I'm going in. I approached the vehicle. Carefully. Assessed. Looked through the windows. Saw it. Explosives. C4. Detonator. Timer. 3 minutes. I keyed my comms. This is Wraith. Confirmed car bomb. C4. Timer set for 3 minutes. I'm disarming. Wraith, wait for the bomb squad. That's an order. I didn't wait. I opened the vehicle. Accessed the bomb. Studied it. Professional construction. Military grade. I had 2 minutes. I started disarming. Cut the red wire. Then the blue. Then the green. The timer stopped. 10 seconds remaining. Bomb disarmed. I keyed my comms. This is Wraith. Bomb disarmed. Area secure. Copy that, Wraith. Outstanding work. The bomb squad arrived. Secured the device. Evacuated it safely. Deputy Director Brennan called me. You just stopped another terrorist attack. Saved hundreds of lives. You're incredible, Rachel. Just doing my job, sir. No. You're doing what no one else can. And that's why you're invaluable. I smiled. I'm just a nurse who happens to be good at stopping bad guys. You're Wraith. And the country needs Wraith. I went home that night. Cleaned my weapons. Wrote my report. And tried to sleep. But the nightmares came. They always did. The faces of the people I couldn't save. The teammates I'd lost. The missions that went wrong. I woke up at 3 a.m., drenched in sweat. Went to the bathroom. Splashed water on my face. Looked at myself in the mirror. Who was I? Rachel Morgan? Wraith? Both? Neither. I didn't know anymore. But I knew one thing. I couldn't stop. Because people needed me. The innocent. The vulnerable. The ones who couldn't protect themselves. That was my purpose. My mission. My life. The next morning, I went to Walter Reed. Worked my shift. Saved lives. And when my shift ended, I went to Langley. Trained operators. Planned missions. Prepared for the next threat. Because there would always be a next threat. Evil never rests. But neither do I. I'm Rachel Morgan. Call sign, Wraith. CIA Special Activities Center. Ground branch. Emergency room nurse. Guardian. Protector. And I'll do whatever it takes to keep people safe. Even if it means embracing the darkness. Even if it means becoming the weapon I was trained to be. Because that's who I am. A warrior who heals. A healer who fights. And the world needs both. The hunt never ends. But I'm ready. Because I'm Wraith. And Wraith never quits. Never stops. Never fails. I walked out of Langley into the Virginia afternoon. The city was alive. Vibrant. Beautiful. And somewhere out there, someone needed help. Someone needed protection. Someone needed me. And I'd be there. Always. Because that's what I do. I protect. I fight. I save. And I'll never stop. My phone buzzed. Text message from Deputy Director Brennan. New mission. High priority. Briefing at 1800. I smiled. Here we go again. I grabbed my gear and headed out. Because the hunt never ends. And neither do I. I'm Rachel Morgan. Wraith. And this is my life. Warrior. Healer. Guardian. protector. And I wouldn't have it any other way. The world needs heroes. And I'll be one. Every single day. Until my last breath. Because that's who I am. Wraith. And Wraith never fails. I arrived at the briefing. Deputy Director Brennan was waiting. We have a situation in Afghanistan. American CIA officers captured by the Taliban. We need you to go in and bring them home. When do I leave? Tonight. I nodded. I'm ready. Because that's who I am. Rachel Morgan. Wraith. And I'll never stop fighting. Never stop protecting. Never stop being the guardian the world needs. The hunt never ends. But I'm ready. Always ready. Because I'm Wraith. And Wraith never quits. I deployed to Afghanistan that night. Led a ground branch team into hostile territory. We infiltrated the Taliban compound under cover of darkness. Located the captured officers. 3 of them. Alive. Wounded. But alive. We extracted them. Fought our way out. Lost 1 operator. But we brought the officers home. Mission complete. When we landed back at Langley, Deputy Director Brennan was waiting. You did it again, Rachel. Another impossible mission. Another perfect execution. Just doing my job, sir. No. You're doing what defines excellence. What defines heroism. You're Wraith. And you're the best operator I've ever seen. I smiled. I'm just someone who doesn't leave people behind. That's what makes you special. I went back to Walter Reed. Back to my life. Warrior and healer. Wraith and Rachel Morgan. Both. Always. Because the world needs both. And I'll be both. Every single day. Until my last breath. Because that's who I am. Rachel Morgan. Call sign. Wraith. CIA Special Activities Center. Ground Branch. Emergency Room Nurse. Guardian. Protector. Hero. And I wouldn't have it any other way. The hunt never ends. But I'm ready. Always ready. Because I'm Wraith. And Wraith never fails.